So Berkadia Commercial Mortgage is the third largest commercial mortgage servicer in America, right behind Wells Fargo and PNC. We have a captive here in Hyderabad, which is called Berkadia Commercial Mortgage India Private Limited. It's about a 700 people operation. We are coming up on the 12-year anniversary next month. So, from a brand perspective, not too many people know about it. It's a joint venture of Berkshire Hathaway and Leucadia National Corporation. It's a 50-50 venture, and both are equal partners in it, and extremely supportive of the way the whole business is running at this point. What started off here as about a 16 people operation back in 2002 is today up to about 660 people, and over a period of time, the types of processes that have come over here, the complexities of processes has only increased, and today about 74 to 75% of Berkadia's servicing work globally is being done out of Hyderabad today. The commercial mortgage industry per se, from the US perspective, has very few players in India. The only two captives that are here are actually Wells Fargo and Berkadia. Everybody else has the third party, the TCS does some, Cognizant do some, but in very small buckets. Unlike the residential mortgage world, which is quite evolved today in India, the commercial world is not. So getting the right talent is always a huge challenge. One of the things that we are trying to work is now with the educational institutions. We actually have a very large conference and symposium coming up in the first week of November. This is for the commercial real estate finance. It's called the CREFC. This is the first time we're going to have something like that in India, and if we're going to do it in Hyderabad, where Wells Fargo and Berkadia are co-sponsoring it. And a very important cog in the wheel there are the colleges. We have actually gone out to the colleges. We've asked some of the finance professors, the deans, to come actually attend this conference, bring some of their best students with them. And the main reason for this is we want to start developing a certain level of curriculum of mortgages at the MBA level. And this is something I'm really pushing for, is there's got to be some connect between the educational institutions and what the business requirements are in the real world today. So the HR has their work cut out from that perspective. Today, our walk-in to hire ratio is extremely low. And that's because we're having a very difficult time finding a specific talent for this kind of very niche profile right now we're looking for. So at this point, once again, we're choosing their competitors. Right. A lot of, you have the consultants, the Deloitte's, Accentures. We pick up mainly finance professionals. I mean, most of our people are MBA finance. We've got some economics majors, some CAs. But for the most part, it's about getting them, training them. As a result, the learning curves are much longer. So the effort, the monetary effort the company is putting in is very high at this point. Right. So if we worked with the colleges, automatically our training timelines would come down a lot. And it would be a win-win for everybody. I mean, we give guarantees to the college that we're going to hire your people. We talk to the students, we give them internships, and as soon as they come on board, our training timeline is probably going to get cut down by 60 to 70%, which is a great win for us also. And how do we work with the colleges? Because since the colleges don't have these curriculums right now, so one of the things we're going to have to do is the leadership in these mortgage companies are probably going to have to go and start working with the professors. They themselves may have to start doing some instructional classes. Once there's a momentum maintained in that, I'm sure, and as the industry picks up, you want to start finding some faculty who will be interested in this as well. Good challenges. Growth is a big thing. The mortgage industry is doing pretty well for the last 3 years. After the 2008 debacle, we had a lull for about 4 years, but I think 2012, 2013 were really good years overall for the US mortgage industry. As a result, 2014 is turning out to be a decent year too. Had a very poor winter. As a result, the whole origination world was a little shaken up, but you know what, we're back to normal now. Outside of macro, I think we're in a good place today. I mean, Berkadia by itself is the benchmark when it comes to the offshoring piece of commercial mortgages. Rating agencies come out, they've actually come and seen the operations in India itself. And one of our guys, I was talking to one of the rating agencies, and he said, to see it is to believe it. He had this mindset that you can only send low quality and low complexity kind of work, purely labor arbitrage kind of work to India. That myth has been completely debunked. The work we do here is very highly complex, similar work to what is being done in the US, and at equal qualities. The next step for us now is, from a challenge perspective, is the labor arbitrage is going away slowly. Okay, if we start thinking in terms of, okay, we are much cheaper than the US, yes, we are much cheaper than the US, But you got African nations, you got the Eastern European nations catching up very soon. So if we don't start playing to our strength now, we'll be lost. Quality is par for course. They expect that. Gone are the days when this was poor quality stuff. Now it's the next step there. The next frontier comes is process improvement, efficiencies. We have to do them in India and re-engineer the whole thing now for our parents out there. Our attrition rate last year was at about 17%, much, much lower than the year before. And by industry standards, we're one of the lowest in the industry actually. But I think I'm of a true believer that money can only go so far. I mean, today I pay somebody 3 lakh rupees, I give him 3.5 lakhs, his life's going to adjust to 3.5 lakhs and he's happy for a week or two, the euphoria dies off and that's the end of it's the non-monetary benefits. And I'm not saying flex hours or I'm not saying, I give you a gym. Yeah, those things are nice. But once again, they become par for course again. It's the culture, it's the environment that makes all the difference. And a culture where, as we discussed in the last thing, respect, respect, respect. And respect comes about by having a fair system, having a very, very consistent system, an area where you're constantly learning. Associates have to understand that you cannot keep getting promoted every year. It's not possible, it's not feasible. Yet, as a person, you can never lie to yourself. And this person who's talking to you is going to say, what is it that I do? What is it that I did yesterday that I can do better today? And the only thing he's going to say is, what? Did I get cross-trained? Did I learn something new? Did I learn some different process? If I have to make a career out of this, and that's one thing, I have to show them that the mortgage industry is a viable career option. I'm a 21-year-old mortgage banker today. I mean, 21 years in the industry, I'm not 21 years old. But at 21 years in the mortgage industry, I live, eat, and breathe mortgages. And I wish I could just create a few me's right there. But culture, culture, culture. Those are 3 things that you have to do. Live, breathe, and eat mortgages right there for me.